Welcome to this presentation titled Linking Data Through P20win. This presentation is designed to help those interested understand why P20win is necessary, how Connecticut's Preschool through 20 and Workforce Information Network, P20win, operates, and how data privacy is maintained while data are linked through P20win. How do we improve education programs in Connecticut? How do we reduce the achievement gap? Ensure kids are finishing high school ready for what's next. Develop education programs to support local work opportunities. Know what doesn't work. Identify programs that do work. Can we link data to accomplish these things and maintain student privacy? Yes. So how do we begin? We need information about students, programs, and outcomes. Without information, we are in the dark. Our children and students are important. We shouldn't guess about what they need. We need some information about students, the programs that serve them, and the outcomes of students in those programs to understand what needs improving and what works. The challenges before us are that information that is needed is located in different places, and there is no common identifier for linking data between these places. The Preschool through 20 and Workforce Information Network, P20win, provides Connecticut with a secure process for linking data while maintaining individual privacy. Linking data while maintaining student privacy, keeping data secure, abiding by all state and federal laws, especially federal unemployment and insurance law, state law governing the use and protection of unemployment insurance data, FERPA, HIPAA, and the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, at all times. Before P20win can be of use, information is gathered by state agencies. Agencies in Connecticut serve students and individuals. These agencies keep their own data for administrative and program improvement purposes. As of today, there are 3 Connecticut agencies with completed agreements that enable the linkage of data through P20win: the Connecticut State Department of Education, the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education, and the Connecticut Department of Labor. These data are secured in each agency's respective data warehouse or repositories. No data about individuals moves from these secure repositories within state agencies until a rigorous review process is complete and legal data sharing agreements are signed. The process includes rigorous review, documentation, and agreements, documenting the audit or evaluation needed, identifying exactly what data are required, and documenting why each element is necessary for the specific audit or evaluation to occur, establishing individuals who will conduct the audit or evaluation as authorized representatives of a state education authority, reviewing and approving or denying use of the data by senior staff responsible for the data, and completing data sharing agreements established with the approval of the State Attorney General's office. The process includes tests. Is the data request an audit or evaluation of publicly funded education programs? Will the audit or evaluation be of benefit to a state education authority? Has the request been reviewed for conformity to law by the Department of Labor if wage or employment data are needed? Is the request and paperwork allowable by FERPA, HIPAA, Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, state and federal law? The data sharing agreements bind why the data can be used, what data can be used, who can conduct the analysis, how long the data can be used, and when the data will be destroyed. The data sharing agreements restrict there can be no disclosure to anyone other than those approved to conduct the analysis, no use of data for any other purpose, no use of data to identify any individuals, no release of any data about individuals to anyone, and no names, social security numbers, identifiers, or dates of birth in the data set being analyzed. So, how does P20win work? After the documentation, rigorous review, and paperwork are complete, only a limited amount of information will be linked. Let's step through an example. There are currently 3 entities in the state that have existing data sharing agreements to link data with each other through P20win: the State Department of Education, the Board of Regents for Higher Education, and the Connecticut Department of Labor. Each agency has its own secure repository or repositories of data needed to conduct normal business operations. In this example, an auditor evaluation has been approved, the appropriate review has been completed, and the necessary data sharing agreements are in place. Only those agencies whose data are needed for the auditor evaluation link their data. In this example, we'll use 2 agencies for simplicity. The process of identifying data for the auditor evaluation begins within the security of each agency. Each agency develops the data files that contain the data necessary, approved and documented in the data sharing agreements for a specific auditor evaluation. Let's look more closely at what happens within one agency. A file is created. That file is split into 2 parts. One part contains the data fields that are needed to match records. For example, first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, and state assigned student ID or social security number. The second part contains the rest of the required fields for the auditor evaluation. No personal identifiers are in the second part of the file. It could contain demographic information, course information, test scores, or other data needed for the auditor evaluation. A meaningless number is then attached to each record. This becomes the fake ID for conducting the match and the key to linking data in the future without the use of personal identifiers. The meaningless number, or fake ID, is not retained for use in the future. It is not retained in the student file, and it is specific to an approved auditor evaluation. This process happens simultaneously within each agency whose data are required for a given auditor evaluation. The data files are created. The files are split to separate the personal identifiers for matching from the rest of the data needed for analysis. Meaningless fake IDs are attached. Now the data are ready to be linked. The linking process occurs at the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor was entrusted with this part of the process due to their long history of safeguarding identities, social security numbers, and wages for all individuals employed in Connecticut. Only the data files that are necessary for linking data are sent to the Department of Labor to be linked, and they are sent via a secure file transfer process. The files are processed by a software program that can match records when shared identifiers are missing. This is called probabilistic data matching. The result is a matrix of the fake identifiers, a group number, and the original personal identifiers used to conduct the match. The group ID brings together records for the same individual. If John Smith was served by both agencies, then the information from the 2 agencies will be brought together into the same group. You can see that Jim Apple is in group AA, the same for Sue Scrim in row 3 and Meg Nod in row 5. In some cases, there will be no match. Let's reorganize the visual so that the group IDs and the fake IDs can be seen together. The 3 left columns create a matrix of meaningless group IDs and fake IDs. The personal identifiers used to link the data are then destroyed. The matrix remains. It does not contain any identifying information or any student record information. The matrix is then sent via secure file transfer to the authorized representative who's been authorized to conduct the auditor evaluation. What is the authorized representative going to do with a table of meaningless group numbers and fake IDs? Remember that each agency created 2 files, one for matching with identifiers and one for analysis without identifiers. We processed the first half to create the matrix of fake identifiers. Next, the second set of files will be used. The second file that contains only the data for analysis, no identifiers, is also sent to the authorized representative. Now the audit or evaluation can begin. Analysis for the audit or evaluation is conducted, and no personal identifiers are in the data sets. There are redacted student records only, and there is no biometric data present. After analysis is finished, additional review is required before any information can be released for use. This review ensures that the final data tables or report contain only aggregate data. All remaining data used during analysis are destroyed. Finally, the auditor evaluation is complete and the information can be used to improve education programs. Thank you for watching this presentation. The P20win team welcomes your feedback. If you have questions or comments, please contact me, the P20win manager, Jan Keeney, at 860-723-0236 or KIEHNEJ@ct.edu. Thank you for watching.